Y'all ready to go for a ride?
That's all it is at this point. It's just a motorcycle and chaos.
All right, and we're rolling right on the road. Woohoo! Yeah.
So we threw a chain. All right, check. My green screen working? All right, right on. Well, hey everybody. So yesterday morning I left on an adventure, and looking for adventure, and boy did we find adventure. And the story continued on to today, because this adventure, well, adventure kind of came and found me. Does that a lot. That's why I started this channel, because every time I go out in the desert and think I'm just going to go right out to A to B, and I end up having a side trip, I ended up with whole other stories that are, that come with the adventure. And yesterday, and continuing today, I have most definitely had an adventure, and I'm going to share it all with you. Now, I'll share part of the story with you right now. Is that I went and did a ride yesterday, and it was a great ride. It was awesome. A lot of cool stuff we saw, a lot of cool stuff we did. We rode through sand, we saw wildlife, we saw history, we saw prehistory. We just had a great time. But the other part of the adventure was, I'll tell you what I did, is I left the house this morning. I left up here this morning and went down the hill to go get some gas. I went and got gas, and I put my wallet back in my pocket after I got gas, and I took off on an adventure. Now, I got back to town. I tried to buy a few things, and lo and behold, I didn't have a wallet in my pocket anymore. It wasn't in anywhere. It wasn't in my bag. It wasn't in anywhere. So it completely lost. I had no clue where it was. And I went back to the gas station. I went back to the Chevron there where I fueled up, and I checked. And no wallet. They said, come back tomorrow and check if you want, and see if the other girl found it. And I never got that far in life, because early this morning I got up and I looked at my phone, and I had a text, and it was someone telling me to call this woman. And I called this woman, and well, sure enough, she had found my wallet out there in the desert. And I mean not just in like a desert town, not just on the side of the road, out there in the desert in the wash, like miles, 4 or 5 miles, 6 miles from the nearest paved road, out into the desert. She found my wallet. Folks live out there, and great folks. I talked to her husband. I talked to that gentleman for a while there. Invited me into his house. He handed me my wallet back, and then we had a great conversation about life in general, about everything, about living in the desert, about living off grid, about all this stuff. So yeah, it was a crazy thing that I lost my wallet out there in the desert. And by the time I woke up the next morning, somebody has gotten in touch with me to hand it back to me. And that's not somewhere here in town. That's over there. That's about 20-30 miles north of here is the town of Tombstone. And then outside of there, they live another 8 dozen miles or so, each with a dozen miles out there in the desert away from the town of Tombstone. They're not in town either. And they found my wallet out there where I rode by their house. So let's go take a ride and see where things lead. Let's hop on and go. There we go. Fun. Morning, everybody. Rusty here, just heading down a hill on our way to another adventure. And we're going to stop and get some fuel. And then we're going to head out somewhere. I don't even know where the day's going to lead yet. I haven't even decided. We're just heading out to go ride and see where we're going to end up. But let's go for a ride. Let's fuel up. Let's make sure we have enough fuel to go just about anywhere we want to go on this great big world of ours, or at least this corner of our great big world. And we'll go explore around the area. So let's go. Let's do it. Here we go. Just fueled up, we're heading off on the road. Oops, key. Yeah, get that out of the way. Key. And let's talk about where we're going to go today. We're in Bisbee, so what we're going to do is we are going to travel from here up Highway 80 and through Tombstone to a place called Middlemarch Road. And we're going to ride out towards Middlemarch Road, and we're going to explore some places out by Middlemarch, out by the Dragoon Mountains, and we're going to have an adventure today. We're here at the traffic circle. And yeah, keep going. That's good. Good. And we're going to head up around the Lavender Pit Mine here on Highway 80. And we're going to head all the way up Highway 80 now to Tombstone. So, let's do that. We're going to head through under the bridge and up around the pit. Yeah, this is the old town of Tombstone here. The famous Allen Street is down the next block over here. We're coming up towards the OK Corral pretty soon here. That'll be up on the left. Another couple of blocks. The Shefflin Theater is going to be on the right here. And a lot of history around here, a lot of history. The Tombstone Epitaph is off to our left there. There's Shefflin Hall, the Performance Hall that Shefflin built. There's City Hall, and then there's the OK Corral. Fly's Photography Gallery, CS Fly. And here we are at Middlemarch Road. And the pavement ends here in just a minute. Curves and mountain grades next 10 miles. I think the pavement here ends here in just a minute. I don't think they would ever pave Middlemarch Road. It's a long road. This road just goes out a few miles here, a mile or two of pavement, and then we'll turn it to dirt. And we're heading out there towards the Dragoon Mountains. Middlemarch out here. It has a few dips and washes in it that get a little sandy, that get sometimes a little rocky. It's mainly a lot of washboard riding. It's mainly a lot of desert, like a lot of the road is around here. A lot of the riding is these dirt roads. 90% of it is just kind of riding over washboard road for miles. And you get to a few interesting parts, may go down through a wash or something, and you might go through a few turns and stuff, and a lot of it's these straight washboard sections. Wouldn't say it's boring, it's just not the most exciting thing you do all day. And here we go, pavement ends, and fun begins. Yeah, we'll pop up off the pavement there. And we will begin our dirt journeys. Ah, that feels so good. Have some earth under my tires rather than that pavement. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Washboard, a little bit of sand. It's nothing too bad out here. I mean, you can, most of the way out here, you could drive your Prius. Cattle grade hop. Take it easy through this residential area here. That's where the school bus stops, like out here. Go, and now we're back out into some more open country here. And let's pour it on a little bit. Yeah. These washes get sandy. You see these wash bottoms right here get sandy. And like a little bit sand in a few little whoops there. Now we're getting some sand. Now it's going through the wash. Woo-hoo, yeah. All right. We're getting closer. Look at them, they're beautiful. There's a bunch of mines up here. There's a lot of mining in these mountains. And so there's a bunch of historical mines up here. All different kinds of mines, about 3 or 4 different mines of different sorts up on the south end of these mountains. Okay, and we're going to head in this way. Fire danger today low. That's good. It has been raining. Now the road gets a little more primitive. Burned area and flooding wash for possible debris if we had a fire up here a few years ago. This road's more of a trail, more of something fun to ride, something more than a dirt highway, which is kind of what Middlemarch is. It's just a road, it's a dirt road. But this is more of a trail. Ooh. There's a lot of fun riding up here. Beautiful places like this to go all over. That's why it's such a struggle for me to try to find places to go. Because everywhere is nice, everywhere is beautiful. Everywhere has us riding through sand here, riding through all kinds of mixed terrain. What a beautiful morning here in the Dragoon Mountains, Cochise County in southern Arizona. And we are riding our way up along the west side of the Dragoons. The Dragoons run north and south, basically. And we're riding up the west foothills of the Dragoons just by. The Dragoons are right off there to the right. And soon we'll see them. Yeah, it's sandy in here. It's winding. It's fun. If you like sand, I like sand. I like riding through this stuff. It is fun. But if you're scared of it, it's not fun. Swoopy, swoopy, yeah. What a fun section. Cars through all these little turns. Oh, little lump right there. Sand isn't too deep, but it's just enough that if you were to let yourself get a little squirrely in it, it might cause a problem. But overall, it's pretty solid. The ground is a little moist. Haven't seen any actual water yet. Saw water by my place up on the top of the mountain yesterday. I'll post a video on that. It's not already up by the time you see this one. And I'm gonna go show you guys around here. Let's go take a look down this way. Go up to the base of the mountains down this way. All right, folks, looks like that's the end of the road for our adventure. Thanks for coming along on these adventures with me. And if you want to see more of these adventures, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, everyone.